breakfast and coffee, and then I'm about to head out for a solo park adventure with myself. Mainly just sitting around and reading outside and taking in the nature, meditating, pulling cards, all of that good vibe. My goal is to kind of just literally hang out until I get like bored for like an hour or something like that. Always testing the temperature on my balcony, and it's humid. It feels warmer than 60. It feels like 75, which is amazing. But also, I'm definitely gonna be like sitting in shade. It's already like hot, but that's great. Okay, so my car battery is dead. I haven't driven my car in 6 days. But also, my battery was already at like the end of its life too, because batteries last for like 5 to 6 years. And I literally had to get a new battery as soon as I got my car. It's been in 5.5 years, almost 6 full years. And I got a new battery, I think, in that fall. So it's been, my battery life, actually, I think they say, what? I learned that you get a new battery every like 3 years even. My car made it last, so that's gonna be a whole nother little bucket of stress because I have to get my bumper fixed, to get my inspection passed. My car has kind of been a little bit of a stressor. I paid her off and I was like, hey, and then like everything started breaking down and I was like, now it's like, bruh. I'm really glad that I ended up making it out to the Arboretum even after my car wouldn't start. What I did was I took an Uber and I got lucky there and had scheduled an Uber for like 2 hours later. When I first got to the park, it was a little bit crowded and it seemed like there was like a school for boys or something like that. And so I felt really awkward and like I was just nervous about being perceived out by myself. But then I remembered like life is short and it literally doesn't matter. And so I ended up having a really peaceful time, like despite feeling somewhat surrounded and watched a little. But eventually the park emptied, like everybody just left. And so I got to spend the better part of an hour feeling like I have the whole park to myself. And then I really felt safe to like sink into my presence. Getting out by myself isn't something I do too often, but it is something I want to get used to doing so that I'm not holding myself back from experiencing, you know, just being out on my own and being in other environments. But it was worth the trip, and the Uber back was a little complicated, but I made it back and it was definitely worth the experience. You guys, I'm lit. I made a smoothie. We've picked up a lot of frozen fruit because I feel like this time of year it's just nice to have on hand. Never know on a hot day when you want to sit on the balcony and drink a smoothie. I'm so happy. Right on cue. My pre-cramps. Pre-cramps knew I was like, we're relaxing, we're gonna happen now. Cool. Love that. I'm glad I'm back home. I'm glad I'm back home now. Yeah, I love life. Sometimes I'm so happy in my apartment. I am super grateful and happy to be getting the chance to reconnect with all of the practices and modalities that keep me sane. And they've been, like, my discipline has been really bare minimum, like the last year and a half, probably a year or two. And I feel like this is the perfect time for 30 days to just like reset my whole life and everything. And it's like I feeling called to just be more homebody, like to maintain my routine and my things that make me feel good and bring me peace. Very simplistic living during this time period, like nothing too crazy. Because, and I repeat, I don't know how many times I've said this or not, but it's gonna get super busy. It's gonna be super busy. Some of the stuff that I had planned this month actually like sold out, or just something didn't work out, like we just don't have enough money because it's kind of expensive. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. That means we can just have like a chill week or whatever. And yeah, like I feel like all the signs are pointing to being relaxed, and like I can be outside on my balcony. Like I don't know, I'm just feeling like hermiting. And I feel like I always feel like hermiting, but to be fair, for the last like 6 months, 8 months of my life up until this point been really transformative, and I feel like I've just been needing to integrate everything that I've just like stepped into in terms of growth and how I'm evolving and what I am feeling driven to do right now. So yeah, I'm feeling really simplistic. I'm feeling like I just want to sit and read and just do yoga. This might look like a torturous breakfast. It's literally broccoli and 2 like pretty runny eggs. I have been craving this. I made this the other day because I've been craving broccoli, and I seasoned it with furikake. I have tahini on it and soy sauce, and then just like 2 eggs with like pepper and tahini. And it's actually so good and really savory and pretty filling. So I've just been craving this. I've just been craving whole foods. And I think as a ADHD neurodivergent health hack, I'm like, I know fresh is always better, but frozen is also good if you know it won't go bad in like a week, because I've had so many like healthy food vendors where I just buy a bunch of whole food products from the market, whatever. Most of it will go bad. Or like if you buy fresh and then chop it and freeze it, I feel like we don't talk about that enough. Frozen food, frozen veg is still a life changer. God, I've just been on such a cruciferous like veggie kick. Like we also got Brussels sprouts. I kind of want cauliflower. And I also have been really craving like mushrooms, and I actually meant to put mushrooms in this. Also did yoga and meditated, and I feel the ache coming back. I feel my spark coming back, guys. Like I was on Etsy, one of my scrolling moments before I was just like, I need to get off my phone. I was on Etsy looking at crystal towers, and I was like, you know, I haven't like bought crystals in so long, but Nick and I treat our homes so sacredly, the energy and everything, that I was like, you know, not just even for feng shui, but it would be a vibe to get like labradorite and obsidian and like some of those darker crystals to like have around the apartment to like bounce energy off of. And I just, something's healing in me. I get into my little crystals again, except not just randomly buying crystals that I will never do anything with, but I also just miss making jewelry. And now I'm like, ooh, add a gothicism, little whimsy goth twist into like my style and stuff, because I still appreciate like cool earth tones, but just like darker, probably paired with like black or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, my brain was like, we're resetting. I'm like, it's the job. It's my job. My job kills my whimsy, and that sucks. On some real-time shit, I was stressed the fuck out just now. Because I've just been having a lot of car troubles recently. And I'm getting it worked out. There's a solution to everything. Everything is fine. But I ruminate, and so things stay on my mind. And I thought I could fix a problem today, but it turns out it was another problem. But it's still not as still not expensive, so like it's fine. But I was like stressing. I was like, oh my god, my head's exploding. And luckily, I've started this habit in my body of like returning to my practice rig. So I was like freaking out, and I was like, I'm just gonna go lay on the floor, and not even just like yoga nidra lay on the floor, but like reverse blood flow, legs up the wall. Usually I wouldn't do that on the first day of my period. This time I was like, oh, fuck it, I need to stop stressing. And it's crazy, like, I feel like you almost feel how active your nervous system is when you're stressed out. If you like do legs up the wall, because in the beginning, it was like a lot. I was like, my chest is getting tight. I was like, oh my god. And I laid there and I just take some deep breaths, and I felt like my body was loosening up again, coming down. I'm like, okay, it's fine. There's a solution. I'm not without a car. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. And I feel like it's one thing to tell people to do yoga and try these techniques if you're not currently in a stressed out situation, you know, and like it works. I wanted to try it. I was like, I want to try it with my nervous system in full swing right now. I don't know how long that recording was. I'll have to look, but it felt like 5 minutes maybe. 5-10 minutes of just sitting there on the legs up the wall breathing. Feels like a sedative. I feel like I've been sedated. It's nice. Look at that sunrise. Such a pretty morning. I like how even the rest of my apartment is the color of the sky right now. It's actually a really loud morning with birds. And there's some sounds of the city, but like the birds are just singing, and I'm like, is this my life right now? I get to sit in the privacy of my balcony and watch the sunrise before the clouds take over, because I actually think it's going to be a rainy day. It's going to be a cloudy couple of days, which I don't mind. Today's gonna be warmer before the temperature drops, and then it's gonna be like 50-40. So I was half debating on going out today to the Arboretum for a little stint again before it cools down, and it's gonna cool down for a minute. Like, it's actually about to be cold for like 5 days or so. So yeah, possibilities. But we'll see. So at this point, I think I've just decided to spend my day out here because it feels good. And I feel like more than leaving my apartment, I have more of a desire to fill this balcony with plants, which would require me to leave my apartment. But I have another plant that I could bring out here just for fun, just to feel surrounded by some greenery. I just love being able to get fresh air and it being so private. Like, I lived somewhere before where like having neighbors is cool and all. It might be a little bit too outside of my social energy to have neighbors. Or just, I don't know, like I'd want to go outside and like read on like a porch, and like the houses were so close that like turn your head and neighbors could just be like, hey, right? Have conversation. And that's what neighbors do. That's what you do. But me, I started hiding from them. I was like, I just want to sit outside in silence, like my headphones and stuff on, just to be unbothered. And so I think that's why I love balcony spaces. Like, it's like a clear division. Like, I will go out in the world to be social, but when I am home, I am not social. So I'm reveling. I want to put flowers back here and plants and decorate. I actually like, I can't like obviously drill holes into siding, but I've debated getting just like double-sided tape. I don't think it would rip paint. I don't think it would rip this off.
And wonder, because we're not letting ourselves enter that space where those things become possible. We're like always full, and you need that to a place where you're present and you're just being. It feels so uncomfortable because like, what are you doing?
Just gave the balcony a little bit of TLC. I cleaned down this table, and I've been hiding this from you guys. You don't even know, but there was 3 rotten pumpkins on that table, and I also peeled off these little brown bits were wrapped around the table. This was honestly from a cheap set that I got off Amazon like 4 years ago. But I just cleaned what I'm calling pumpkin puke because it was just, they were old and squishy, and like the executive dysfunction was real. I like looked at it every day and I was like, I'm gonna clean those pumpkins off. I did. And there was a little spider, and now he's gone. But luckily, I just cleaned off this table. I'm about to, for my sake of mind, my sanity, be in the hammock. Favorite thing to do when I read my books is I have like my own playlist that I listen to almost every book too, because it has just about every kind of vibe, the vibe that I like to go with the vibe of the book. And I know a lot of authors put their own playlist in the book, and I've tried it once or twice, and I just have ears of a metalhead, so I like the genre of my playlist for what I listen to, because honestly a lot of these books are quite intense, either in action or in romance, and I just feel like the songs I listen to make more sense. Anyways, I'm like reading, I'm at the part of this book, this man is going off the deep end a little bit, and I'm also listening to doom metal, like Faytooth, while I'm like listening to or while I'm like reading this book, and it just fits perfectly. It's like but it adds this kind of like dark gothic effect to pretty much anything I read. And I mean, this is a gothic romance, so fitting. I say fitting. I literally have been out here all day, literally all day. I've gone in only to pee, and I read so much. I'm on like the last 10 pages of this book, which I'm also going to finish. And I'm excited to finish this book. I was on the phone with my mom, and now I'm hanging out with my mama tomorrow, so I am excited to get out. We're gonna have lunch. It's gonna be nice. Me and my mom are both certified yappers. I'm low-key like a copy-paste of her personality and a little bit in the face, so yeah, I'm gonna do that, and probably gonna take the rest of this evening to do some meditative practices. Grateful right now to be like listening to the rain. That's such a weird thing. I mean, I love rainy days in general, but like to be off and home alone, I just did a full yoga practice and meditation session, journaled some, and just listening to the silence but the rain the whole time. It was just really peaceful ambiance. I started my morning off really slow, just my normal little cozy routine. I think I'm gonna beat my mom here in a little bit. I love how I can be getting ready and like I can start my morning off like really peaceful, right? And like really have a real spiritual moment and then get ready listening to this. Like this is just like really snowing out, and it just dawned on me like it's not sticking at all. Like I'm sure the road is just slushy, but I'm like, is my mom still gonna want to come up? And it's okay if we end up not going out, but I put this whole look together too, and so it's gonna have to be documented. Because of the weather and the fact that I hope to fuck that this is the last snow. Didn't I say like last week I hope this is the last snow? But now it's snowing again. And today's Thursday. Again, happy to be out of work during the last few like snow moments. 'Cause I don't have to worry about like driving or commuting. It's not sticking to the road at all. But I couldn't get a hold of my mom just now, so we'll figure that out. But this is the fit. And because of the weather, and I'm obsessed with like Nosferatu and Dracula, whatever, and I just feel vampiric. I'm feeling vampiric today. I'm feeling snatched, and I'm off my period, so I'm feeling cunty. I'm feeling the form-fitting. This is my favorite thing about my style now is that I love form-fitting. I love how my form fits. Anyways, tea. My mom and I ended up going out, and these are the little things that I picked up. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you watched all the way through, grateful for you, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Om Shanti.